I ain't give a fuck if, but that time, the actions that I did during the time that I was acting that way helped me realize, like, bro, you wrong. You know what I mean? You just wrong. Just get out the way and go back to your mission. Go back to your mission. Leave that alone. But I am happy with everything. I want the best. I've accepted.
I ain't give underscore, but that time, the actions that I did during the time that I was acting that way helped me realize, like, well, you wrong. You know what I mean? You just wrong. Just get out the way and go back to your mission. Go back to your mission. Leave that alone. But I'm happy with everything. I want the best. Accept. I have to accept it. Now, I don't think he won the best. And I don't think he accepted nothing because I know y'all have heard about the little Instagram stunt Offset just pulled because, baby, it had the whole internet in a chokehold. So, here's what went down. This man got on IG, dropped a random post to Maury Povich. Yep, my himself, Mr. You're Not the Father. And snatched it down like 30 minutes later. Now you'll know how this goes. Anytime a celebrity posts something and deletes it quick, that's when you know it wasn't no accident. That was a message, and the streets picked it up immediately. Folks were like, hold on now. What is Offset trying to tell us with this Maury mess? And trust, the guesses were flying. Some people thought he was shading Cardi's youngest daughter, Blossom. Others thought he was sneak dissing about Cardi allegedly being pregnant again with another man's baby. And yes, Stefan Diggs' name came up more than once, but let's not get ahead of ourselves. The point is, Offset ain't slick. That post was loaded. Now, here's the kicker. Gossip of the City caught that post before he deleted it and allegedly got the scoop. According to them, Offset didn't just wake up and decide to clown around with more memes. No, baby. 2 weeks ago, during his mediation with Cardi, Offset straight up requested a DNA test for Blossom. Whoa, let me sip my tea real quick because that's heavy. Think about it. This man is divorcing Cardi. Emotions are running high. And suddenly, he's questioning if their youngest daughter is even his. Some people say he's doing it out of spite, just to drag Cardi through more drama. Others say he's genuinely suspicious. Because let's not forget, Cardi herself admitted she cheated while she was pregnant with Blossom. Yeah, sis said it with her chest, and now here we are. So when Offset posted my everybody was like, oh, so that's what you're on. Was he hinting that the DNA test came back and proved something, or was he warning the world that he got doubts and receipts in the making? Either way, it was messy, and the internet wasted no time dragging it. Memes everywhere. People were out here like not Offset, turning his own daughter into a Maury moment. But real talk, if he really doesn't believe Blossom is his, that's not just shade at Cardi. That's putting his own kid under the microscope of the world. That's wild and low-key cruel, especially with how brutal social media can be. But if we're being honest, Offset's been moving bitter ever since Cardi filed for divorce. So him playing petty games like this ain't really shocking. Question is he really trying to expose something here, or is he just flexing Maury memes because he hurt? Either way, the DNA tea is brewing, and y'all already know this story is only getting messier. Now, let's get into the real mess of that DNA test. Cause listen, Offset ain't just trolling on Instagram for likes. According to reports, this man straight up asked for a DNA test for Blossom during his mediation with Cardi. And if you don't know, mediation is supposed to be about figuring out divorce details, who gets what, custody arrangements, splitting the coins, all that. But Offset pulled up talking about Run Me, the swab child. Now, on one hand, some folks are like, okay, maybe Offset just wants peace of mind. Maybe he genuinely don't know. But let's not act brand new. This ain't no random request. Cardi herself admitted a while back that she cheated while she was pregnant with Blossom. Yeah, you heard me right. While she was carrying that baby, she told the world she stepped out. And that little confession been sitting in the back of Offset's head ever since. So now that divorce papers are in the air, Offset's like, oh yeah, well, let's see who the daddy really is. And you can't tell me the timing ain't messy. This ain't about curiosity. This is about leverage. He want to embarrass her, make her look shaky in front of the courts, and most importantly, remind the world that he's not the only one in that relationship with dirt on his name. And baby, let's talk symbolism, cause Offset didn't post no random clip. He posted my all know my code for DNA drama. Ain't nobody seeing Maury Povich on their timeline and thinking about anything else. But you're not the father. That man is the universal meme for paternity scandal. So when Offset dropped that, The message was loud. I don't trust you, Cardi. And I don't trust this baby situation either. But here's the gag. When people saw Blossom's little face next to Offset, they were like, "Sir, the baby looked just like you. What are we even doing here?" And that's where the conversation split. Half the internet was dragging Offset for being a bitter, soon-to-be ex-husband who's trying to weaponize my memes. The other half was like, well, Cardi did admit she cheated, so maybe Offset just wants receipts to clear his head. Now, we can't say for sure what's going on behind the scenes. Maybe Offset's really got doubts. Maybe he's just being spiteful. But what we do know is that airing this out in public through petty posts and deletes makes the whole thing 10 times worse. This ain't just about Cardi anymore. This is about Blossom growing up one day and seeing her daddy hinting that he ain't believe she was his. That's deep. Still, Offset knows how to play the internet like a fiddle. He knew exactly what that my post would do. And like clockwork, the blogs lit up. Now everybody's waiting on one thing, the actual DNA result. And when they drop, woo, child, whether it proves Offset right or wrong, the fallout's going to be nuclear. Put receipts out. Because you can't lie about my no. And when you lie about my puss, make sure them is legit. Now hold up, because while Offset out here throwing my memes and questioning babies, the street's been whispering about his own dirt. And this one right here, child, is giving daytime Tila. Word on the curb is that Offset allegedly been creeping with the house help. Yeah, not a rapper, not a model, not even some random Instagram baddie. The house help. And listen, if that's true, it's not just messy, it's dangerous. Because how are you going to question paternity on your wife's child when you allegedly out here messing around with folks who work under your roof? It's giving pot kettle energy. Like, sir, you really pointing the finger when your own hands might be dirty? Now, let me say this with my whole chest. These house hell allegations been floating for a minute. Folks online swear they seen subtle hints like when certain staff suddenly disappeared from Card's house, or when she would randomly rant about loyalty and betrayal on live without naming names. Fans been connecting the dots like, wait a minute, who else could she be talking about? And when Offset told at my post, it just gave people more reason to believe he might be moving grimy on his end, too. And here's where it gets sticky. This alleged house hell situation lines up with why Offset might be pushing for a DNA test in the first place. Some blogs claim he's trying to flip the script, so when his own mess comes out, he can say, well, Cardi cheated too. Look, I even had to check if the baby was mine. Woo, the mental gymnastics. But let's keep it real. Cardi and Offset's marriage been playing out like a public soap opera since day one. They both had cheating scandals, public fallouts, makeups, and breakups. It's almost like they keep receipts just to one-up each other when things get bad. So if Offset really did cross that line with someone working in their house, and Cardi finds out, oh baby, that's not just divorce court drama. That's lawsuit territory, employment law, NDAs, power imbalance, the whole nine. And y'all already know how the internet works. Once that rumor got out, people started clowning. Memes flew in like Offset couldn't even keep it industry. He had to keep it in-house. Some even joke that Cardi might end up putting the alleged house hell in a verse just to get her lick back. Y'all know she don't hold her tongue. So picture this. Offset questioning Card's daughter. Cardi citing Offset for creeping with a house help. And both of them low-key trying to spin the narrative so they don't look like the bad guy. It's giving full-blown mess Olympics. And neither of them is winning gold. At this point, fans don't even know who to believe. Is Offset exposing real tea or just trying to distract us from his own skeletons? Either way, the DNA test and these house hell whispers are like two ticking time bombs. And when they both explode, woo, this divorce might make him and Kanye's look like child's play. Now listen, you and I tell you this divorce about to be one for the history books. I'm not exaggerating. Offset and Cardi already been through public chaos before, but this time, child, they both pulling out the nuclear weapons. Let's start with Cardi. Sis might clown around on Instagram, but when it comes to her image, she don't play. She built herself up from stripping to reality TV to global superstar. And she knows the court of public opinion can make or break careers. So when Offset started hinting Blossom might not be his, you best believe Cardi clocked that. And she ain't gonna sit back and let him paint her as some reckless baby mama while he out here allegedly getting messy with the house help. What's wild is how the internet split right down the middle. Team Offset is saying he has every right to ask for a DNA test. She admitted she cheated, and Team Cardi is like, "Sir, you've been caught cheating a dozen times. You don't get to play the victim now."